to the Couch Crunch podcast. And today we're going to be covering some gaming topics as usual. And first up, we got PlayStation have a first-party problem.
That's actually been going around a lot. From what I've been hearing, apparently no. But I'm only speaking from my experience. I know you guys are going to laugh because you got PS5. But listen, I'll argue that I don't need one. But I'm guessing, to play the devil's advocate, I don't see how many first-party games has Sony released this year? Off the top of my head, right, if I was to count things that aren't released on PS4 because apparently that matters so much to people, Returnal, I know Nick is into
no, Returnal was terrible.
I know Nick is too high over that one. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that's the one.
This is all we have?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But hold up. I argue two of those are pretty good. I played at least two of those. So,
This is all we have? Holy shit.
And that classic catalog, that don't count. That's just games that came out before that are now re-released on PS5.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, people are now they wasn't already, but they're starting to question whether the console is worth it. Because, like, are these first party games, like, they're not showing up, or they're being like gutted or they're being pushed far back, which I don't got a problem with. The whole thing about first party games, or rather the mixed play game, is good. You want to keep it to where it's like you're putting the most amount of quality on it. It's an all hands on deck type of situation. Nothing's going like under the water. You're really trying to make sure the game comes out in a finished manner and everything like that. And so I don't really got a problem with them delaying the games or anything like that. People are gamers overall. I guess they're becoming more more impatient, I guess you could say. And I guess they want to people sit there and say, oh, Nintendo got a pretty good process of how they release first party games. They get them out there. You don't gotta wait for too long, stuff like that. But the thing is, though, and this just speaks nothing to the quality of a Nintendo game and stuff like that. But a game like Mario Wonder, for as good as it is or whatever, probably doesn't take that long to make. You know what I mean? And Nintendo's now saying that their games are going to take pretty. That was a good kill. Nintendo's now saying that their games are probably going to start taking a little bit more time, as expected, as they move into newer technology that requires much more than just a hands-on approach.
Remaking shit.
That's probably how they fill out a lot of their catalog. Honestly, that helps a lot. To while you wait for the next Zelda, while you wait for the next Mario, you take these remakes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I guess surprisingly, Sony hasn't been doing too many remakes this year. In this day and age, it's almost like we expect the remake now. No.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and that's unfortunate, but that's the way that it is. But
yeah. I just feel like the reason why they're trying to focus up on they're trying to take a seat back from the first party games lineup, because obviously they're always taking the first chair, the first set of the first row when it comes to first party games. Come on, I don't think any other platform is really going to be touching PlayStation on that kind of category. So they're like, you know what? Let's take a step back and actually focus up on the third parties.
Well, I argue that you said that. I argue that third party is enough to carry them. Like for the people who don't own a PC, who only own a PlayStation 5, which is a lot of people, they may have a secondary console like the Switch, but their main platform is the PS5. For people like that, third party is good. Like, it may seem weird to say, oh, Resident Evil 4 remake was the reason I got a PS5 and all that stuff, that was on every other system. But for people who only want to spend one price, one time for one system, you know what I mean? That's going to be a reason to get that system. You know what I mean? You're not going to own like it's highly unlikely you'll own more than like 2 or even 1 console nowadays. And that's proven by the fact that, you know, you look at how many Xboxes are out there as opposed to PS5s, you know? So clearly a lot of gamers are only, when it comes to those systems, like let's say the true next gen system, they're only owning like one of them. So when you only own like one of them, third-party games are going to be the reason you like, you know, you're excited overall. You know, are you looking to pick up a system? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
That's just going to be the thing. Now, Sony's third-party games outside of like Last of Us never interest me at all. That's probably why I still don't have a PS5. Not to mention my PC still pretty good out there, so I don't really particularly need one. But if I know due to the economy and everything, I probably will only still. If I had to get a console, it would be the PS5. But I wouldn't worry about getting any other console besides that. I know the third party will carry me over. You know, they had a lot of really good third party games released overall this entire generation. We had Dead Space, we had Resident Evil 4, we had Baldur's Gate, we had a lot. There's a lot, you know.
Yeah. Plus,
so like even the first party, I don't think they really have a first party problem. I just think they can afford to sit on this. You know, they can do that.
Yeah.
Because like people are still, from what's being said, what's being reported, they're spending more. The consumer overall is spending way more on PlayStation than they ever have, like in recent years.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's probably why they got like a lot of free PlayStation Plus weekends, like to play online and everything, because it seeing like it's probably less people, you know, getting the PlayStation Plus before the tier list and all the higher prices and now with that, it's kind of getting ridiculous at this point. Trying to find.
But I think they can afford to do that because, like, you know, they're like, from a sales perspective, you know, when we have the data, we have access to the data. They're killing it. They really are.
Wow.
People are killing. They're killing it in a good way.
Right.
People are spending more on PlayStation overall.
And do you think it's mostly because of the third parties being brought to the platform?
Wow.
I feel like it's a combination of both. I feel
like it would be a combination of both too.
Yeah.
I would feel like it would be a combination of both because third party. I mean, I won't know until I have some actual full data, but I'm pretty sure I can speak confidently on this. Third parties, for the most part, sell probably better on PlayStation as opposed to Xbox. Right. So no, they're getting some of that royalties, some of that extra money and stuff like that. You know, like besides PC, third party probably sells almost as good as it does on PC, or as it does on on PlayStation. So that's probably what it is. But you know, it also comes down to like how much it costs like to make a game like Spider-Man 2. We know it costs like close to like $1 billion, some shit like that, which is insane. But did they make that back? I'm fairly certain they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. But like Sony has been like, they reported not recently, but I think like last year or 2 years ago that they started making a profit on PS5 units sold. So they're clearly making money off the system now, a lot of money. And like people on average in the same time frame, you know, time adjusted, are spending more on PS5 than you're spending on PS4. So you know, they're making money. And if the argument is their effort is pathetic, and when compared to their other systems and everything like that, that's the argument. I can see that argument. I don't have a PS5. I mean, there's a reason I don't have one. I can see that argument, but it goes to show you that they're clearly succeeding, regardless of the fact that you may think their output or their effort is lackluster.
Right.
I mean, no, that shows me that like they don't really even gotta. If I was to give in to that narrative, that shows me that they don't really even have to try their hardest, and they're still that they built a brand. You know what I mean? They have brand loyalty. So there will always be a PlayStation, and people will play a PlayStation, especially nowadays, over an Xbox. I don't see a future where Xbox even is close to as successful as they were with the 360 or stuff like that. Not anymore. But Xbox is charging something different overall now.